It happened on a normal Tuesday, which is why it took me so long to realize something was wrong. The morning light was pale and sleepy, sliding through the curtains like it always did. My alarm rang at 7:10. I hit snooze. Somewhere in the apartment, a dog barked once, sharp and excited. Buddy, I smiled before I even opened my eyes. Buddy wasn't my dog, not officially. He belonged to Mrs. Calder from downstairs, but for some reason he had decided I was his person. Every morning when I left for school, he waited by the stairwell, tail already wagging, like he'd been counting my footsteps. I got dressed, grabbed my backpack, and stepped into the hallway. Buddy was there. The moment he saw me, his entire body lit up. His paws scraped against the floor as he rushed over, whining happily, tail beating the wall like he was trying to knock it down. "Hey, boy!" I whispered, kneeling to scratch behind his ears. His collar jingled. His nose pressed into my chest. He smelled like soap and old carpet. That's when I noticed something strange. Mrs. Calder stood a few feet away, keys in hand, staring straight through us. "Good morning," I said. She walked past me, not around me, not with an excuse or a muttered apology. Straight past like I was a shadow that hadn't fully formed. Buddy growled. "Low. Protective." I stood there, confused. As Mrs. Calder reached the stairs, Buddy planted himself between me and her, barking sharply. "Buddy," she snapped, yanking the leash. "What is wrong with you?" She sounded annoyed, angry, even but not confused, as if Buddy was barking at empty air. I laughed nervously. "It's okay, Buddy. I'm right here." Mrs. Calder froze. Slowly, she looked down at the spot Buddy was barking at me. Her eyes slid over the space where I stood, and then away again, unsettled. "Come on," she muttered to the dog, tugging harder. "Stop staring at nothing." Nothing. That word followed me all the way to school. On the sidewalk, people brushed past me without noticing. A cyclist nearly knocked me over, shouting at me for being in the way, even though his eyes never actually focused on my face. At the crosswalk, I waved to my neighbor. She looked through me and checked her phone. My reflection still appeared in shop windows. I could see myself clearly, my jacket, my messy hair, the small scar on my chin. I felt solid. My feet hit the ground. My breath fogged the air, but no one reacted to me. At school, it got worse. I sat at my desk while my teacher took attendance. She called every name, including mine. "Here?" I said. "Nothing." She frowned at the paper. "Strange," she murmured, tapping her pen. Then she moved on. My best friend slid into the seat beside me, chatting about a show we both watched the night before. I answered her. Joked. Nudged her arm. She never responded. When I touched her sleeve, my fingers passed through the fabric just enough to make it ripple, but she didn't feel it. Panic rose slowly, like water filling a room. I ran to the bathroom and locked myself in a stall, breathing hard, counting my heartbeats to prove I was still real. That's when I heard scratching at the door. Not the bathroom door. The building's side entrance. I looked out the window. Buddy sat outside, staring straight up at me. The moment our eyes met, his tail wagged so hard his whole body wobbled. He barked once short, sharp, relieved. "You'll see me," I whispered. Something clicked in my chest, then, heavy and cold. Everyone else had forgotten me, but Buddy hadn't. I slipped out of school through a door no one noticed opening and followed Buddy as he pulled on his leash, dragging me down streets I didn't recognize. The city felt thinner somehow, like a picture stretched too far. We stopped at a small park. In the center stood an old clock tower I'd passed 100 times without noticing. Its hands were frozen at exactly 2 p.m. Buddy sat, waited. My phone buzzed. A notification. Finally proof that something still knew I existed. Timer ended. The clock tower chimed. Once. Twice. The sound echoed too loudly, bending the air. Soothingly. Noise rushed back into the world. Cars. Voices. wind, birds. A woman screamed as she nearly collided with me on the sidewalk. "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you." People stared, not through me, at me. My phone buzzed again. Messages poured in. "Where did you go? You left class? Are you okay?" The clock tower hands began to move. Las 2:01. I dropped to my knees, shaking. Buddy barked happily and jumped on me, licking my face like I'd been gone for years instead of an hour. Mrs. Calder ran up moments later, breathless. "I don't know why," she said, clutching the leash. "But Buddy pulled me all the way here. He wouldn't stop." I hugged the dog tightly. That night, I searched for answers. I found nothing, no articles, no stories, no explanations. Just one strange detail buried in a forgotten forum post. Animals remember what the world chooses to forget. I still don't know why it happened. But sometimes, when the world feels a little too quiet, Buddy looks at me like he's checking just to be sure I'm still here. And I wonder what would happen if next time the hour lasted longer.